Well, it's another day and we got another project going. This time in this video, I usually tell you what we're doing in it, and in this one I honestly don't even know what's going on. I'm really lost at what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. So currently, you know these T-Birds, they got struts in it, and this car had Chrysler 300 struts in it in the front of it, so those obviously didn't exactly work that great, as you can see in Exhibit A. But long story short, trying to make the front end of this car stronger, and I got 75 F250 springs from the junkyard, or 76 or whatever it was, I don't remember. But I'm gonna put coils on this thing with 2 shocks or whatever, 4 shocks in the front. We're trying here. So here's the lower control arm, and somehow we gotta make the spring right on this, so gonna have to weld something up, and the problem is that's also cast, so don't really know what to do there. But just for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and clean these springs up just in case I need to weld them to something for some reason, but I'm just gonna clean them up real quick. Well, what we got going on now is, I pretty much did an intro, but so there's my big tube, and what I'm gonna do with is, so you can see I fabbed up a lower coil bucket that bolts onto the control arm. So there's definitely some more structural stuff that has to happen here, but that's kind of the raw thing I got going on. And then right now I'm gonna make an upper coil bucket that actually bolts to where the strut went, so in case I need to remove it or anything. And it'll also give us about 3 inches of lift up there, so that's nice. And then for down here, I'm gonna actually have to gusset the lower control arm, as well as put some sort of brackets that go from there to distribute the load, and then hopefully not fold these pieces over, because I think these are also 3/16 and we folded them. So I'll make it more structurally sound, and the car will be hopefully better. Well, this is kind of what I got going. Alright, so I'm obviously going to trim this up so it's more round and better looking, but for now, I kind of got this welded up. So originally, it was just this piece as the upper coil bucket up there. As you can see, the spring I got in there, and the lower bucket. But so I actually set the car on the ground just to test it out, and it was slammed actually with a 3-inch lift, and we came to the conclusion that a spring like that came off of a similar truck, just older, that the I-beams have like a 1-to-1 ratio on those. So, and this has a 2-to-1 because the A-arm's like super short, so that's actually why the car was super low. So now I'm making a extra plate to like kind of change the difference on that, and I'll weld this up, finish it, make it look decent, put it up there, and then I have to do the same on the other side, and then we can set the car on the ground. The reason I didn't film any of this is because I didn't want to look like an idiot if it completely did not work at all. And it kind of didn't work, but it did work. So I'm improving on the design currently. And so yeah, I just gotta weld a quick few things up. Catch you when I'm done. Well, it's been an entire month and this video is still going on. I completely kind of stopped filming because I didn't want to look like an idiot, because I'm designing the front suspension based on Cracker Barrel sketches and on a napkin, and this is kind of where we're at. So, car is on the ground. If you notice, it is actually lifted quite a bit. So I'm kind of gonna jump into exactly what I did. So I'm actually gonna take the car off the ground here and put it on jacks, but as you can see, I fabbed up a lower coil bucket and gusseted it. It actually bolts onto the original lower control arm. Goes up to an upper coil bucket that I made that bolts into the original strut position. And actually lifted the car and drives pretty good. But the one problem you guys can probably see, I'm missing a shock. So just for now, I went to the good old off-road swap meet. And I picked up these big old Ranchos for $5. And just temporary. And I'm gonna make some mounts for these shocks to bolt on and in and out of like a normal shock on the front like a truck. So that'll work good. Well, car's up in the air. Time to pull the wheels off. So I got a wheel off. As you guys can see, this is kind of the suspension. Even got a stud in there. So originally to put a washer on and bolt down like a Ford truck, but unneeded. It's very tight already. So this is kind of what it looks like. I need to actually paint this so it doesn't look like crap. But yeah, as you can see, I gusseted everything up. Lower control arm strong. I've actually drove the car a little bit around with no shocks, and it is quite a bouncy ride. So the shock, the plan is to actually mount it, say, in here or somewhere in here and off this. So something like this or off here up to here. So check it out.